Montreal. Man, it's so nice to be in your guys' city. It really is. Before I came home, my friends were a little bit worried, though. They're like, Paul, it's real hot. Be careful for the heat. You're real big. You gotta be careful. I'm like, oh, I'm not scared. I'm not worried about the heat. And as soon as I got here, I'm Aboriginal, by the way, and as soon as I got out here, I got spiritual visions just walking down St. Catherine Street. Like, I shouldn't be in front of a strip club and have my spirit animal visit me. This is not how it's supposed to go down. And white lady, you're like, white people, oh, you love hearing about native culture. You're like, oh, spirit animal. Was it an eagle? Was it a bear? Do you know what my spirit animal is? It's Rosie O'Donnell. That's not fun, man. Your spirit guide is supposed to help you, not talk shit about Donald Trump and Tom Selleck. I'm trying to smudge her away. I'm like, nobody cares about Tom Selleck anymore. Leave me alone. I'm weird around white women. I really am. I'm scared of white women. I don't know if it's because I'm native or whatever, but I'm a pushover when it comes to dealing with white women. I really am. I was driving down the road and a white lady, she flagged me down. She was in distress. I was like, what's wrong? She's like, can you drive me to the hospital? I'm like, of course I can. 5 minutes into the drive, she's like, can we make a stop first? I was like, okay, where do you want to go? She's like, can we go to Walmart? I'm like, I guess so. Long story short, I have to take her kids to camp in 2 weeks. I'm a pushover. She won't even add me as a friend on Facebook. Her kids just call me Uncle Person. That's what her kids call me. I made out with a white woman 10 years ago. I'm retired after that, man. That's all. I'm just retired. I do workshops about how to make out with white women up north. That's all I do. Lesson number 1, don't steal from them. They hate that. It was beautiful. The circumstances were perfect. Me and this white lady, we were at the bar. The light burnt out where I was sitting. All she saw was my teeth. It was like, and we made out. It was beautiful. And then we exchanged numbers, which I thought was weird. I'm like, okay, that's flattering that you want my phone number. I didn't think anything was gonna happen. And I get home, and 3 o'clock in the morning, she phones me up, and she's like, hey, big boy. And I'm like, that's kind of offensive, but it's nice to hear from you. And she's like, let's have phone sex. And we don't have phone sex on the res. Calls are expensive up north. We got calling cards. So I'm like, and I didn't know the concept of having phone sex. I'm like, my mom uses this phone. I don't wanna. And she's like, no, just use your words. She's like, I'm gonna start, big boy. She's like, I'm unbuttoning my blouse. Oh, sexy. She goes, I'm rubbing my belly button. And she goes, what are you doing, big boy? And I was like, I am looking for the toilet paper because I'm done already. I'm like, this is an expensive phone call, lady. I don't have that much sex, as you can tell. Comedians are always talking about sex. My comedian friends are always talking about their sexcapades. They really are. My buddy, he's like, Paul, what are your favorite 5 sex positions? And I'm like, I have 2. The first one is, can you breathe okay? And then my second one, which is my go-to, is, it looks like you can't breathe right now. Anyway, before I go, Montreal, it was fun to come up here and talk a little bit about my life, talk about a little bit culture. And I hate to break away from the comedy. I don't want to break away from the comedy. But I want to leave you with something to think about. I'm proud of my country. I love being a Canadian. And I just want to leave you with something to think about before I go. Just something to think about, just dwell on it a little bit. And that's, I'm going to need a ride to Winnipeg tomorrow. Thank you.